Hey, good afternoon. We're back again. I'm going to make a short video here about day trading and signals to recognize to pull the trigger. So we're going to use this DraftKings as an example. We're not interested in the stock, but to interpret what's happening at this given time. So with that in mind, is 2:06 New York time. And this is where the stock is finding himself right now. Going to try to get this to upgrade every 15 seconds. We're doing here. And then there's a cross cursor in here, the black one that you see here toward the right-hand side of the screen, right here by the top of the where it says stock chart. This is our sponsor. The stock chart is the program that we use and we store all our charts. It's a very reasonable service and it makes it easy for everybody. So today we look here like DraftKings is having a struggle as usual. We knew that it was going to go down, but what we're going to concentrate is on the minute by minute operation, how the price is moving. And we're going to look to the right-hand side here. We've got the cross here to see how the price behave and what kind of decision you can take. As you notice, this indicator, the TSI, it have a wide gap between the black line and the red one, and now it's approaching a turn, right? Remember that all indicators and averages is based on previous data. There's no indicator that can tell you this is the future. We just get a general idea of what the price is going, and based on the previous data, it probably continued that way, that trend. So this is your trend on the indicator, and right now it's telling us that it's running out of gas. We're gonna gap out. When you do the WAP indicator, the dotted line here, as you can see, this dotted line also work as a resistance. You see, so it overcome the resistance, but however, yesterday price close is also become a resistance. So you notice that 2 times have make an attempt right about 11:15 to go over and it didn't make it, and it crossed below the WAP line, and now it make an effort again. It went over, it touched 1 time, previous close yesterday, it failed, and now we're moving up and it gives another try and it failed again. And you can tell now, look how easy in the last few minutes that I've been explaining this, that this is turning, the price going to get lower. It's just that simple. Do not fight the trend. If the trend is down, you just got to get out. If you have a put, that's a different story. So if you enjoy this ride from 1 to 2 o'clock in 1 hour, and you went from something like $42 to 43, and you make $1, and you were doing an option, that's what we normally do sometime with this type of swings in here. That would have been $1 move, an equivalent of 50 cents. So that could have been in 10 contracts about $500 for that hour's work. So you could have made that. Of course, right now, the reason I'm doing it live and we don't put in any money on it is to explain it in the shortest period of time that I can here, so the video don't become too long. So here we go again. It keep on trickling down, and this is getting much closer over here, and there you go. We're going to move up now to the next 5 minutes. We've got the chart set in 5 minutes. So that's something to learn about this, also. Some people use 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 3 minutes, and so on. But the shorter you get, the more difficult it is to interpret of what's going to happen. The longer you are, the less noise you see. So if we change this video and we move it to, let's say, let's give it 15 minutes, we're going to get a different picture. So you got to find your own way to trade, right? A 15 minutes take a lot of noise out of it. So a 15 minutes tell it here that it was almost from 41, you know, and it coming up into 43. So that now that's $2, right? So instead of being $1, it's $2 in here, right? That one, but this put around about 12:30. So you eliminated all this up and down. We're still holding the same. The trend was down, right? But it's running late. You know, it comes over here, it starts going down. But look at the reaction point. By the time it reversed, this had taken place. It had gone from 42 to 42.60, right? So you could not see that. You see, this was coming down. The price was going down also. So by the time the indicator responds, this is a clear view that is based on timing. So it giving you late data, right? So don't depend on that. But we do know that it reached it opened up and it went down from previous price. It make an attempt to go up, it failed. It make another attempt, went down, it crossed the WAP line, and here we are again, and it's coming back down again. So yesterday's price had become a resistance. If we change that to, let's say, 30 minutes, we're going to take more noise out of it, but we're going to have to interpret much less. So if we're going to make it 30 minutes now, when we update it, guess what happened? We're going to see much less than what we saw before. So here we are, 30 minutes, and guess what? In 30 minutes, it tells us that from early at much of way back over here, about 1 o'clock, it been up. Well, that might be true, you know, from here to here. You know, I'm sorry, we're looking at yesterday. So over here, we noticed that it went down on the first 30 minutes, it made an attempt, and then only one time it had visited yesterday price, and now we're heading down again. So the indicator here tell you that the trend is up, but in reality, it's because the term, you know, so the longer the term, the more you can stay in it, you know, without having to get out. You're just running the risk that this don't want to work out. If you move into 1 hour, you're going to see even less of that when we update now. And now we're only going to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars. So we're 6 bars into the opening, and it went down. It recovered a little bit, but it's still one time have make an attempt. So the further you go out, the smoother this line to get, because calculating differently. You can see this here. You can see it on the other side. You're going to see less bar or everything. So it's very difficult to be doing our trade. So I find out that the most practical way is every 5 minutes, you know, and that normally what professional traders do, 5-minute trade, and they keep track with the S&P. But right now, this is for show you how to read this, the interpretation of it. So here we come in, we still, there's a lot of traders that don't get out until it cross the WAP, you know. But that depends also when you went in. If you went in here at 1 o'clock and it was 42, and you get to 43, you're still going to make $1. And you had to go through this little hump here. But the two indicators here had not moved. Now notice the blue bars. The blue bar kind of work ahead of it, and this telling you we're heading down. It's moving down, it's crossing here on the 5 minute, and we're just getting ready to cross the red line here. So one line is taking care of this on this indicator, the TSI, the PPO, right? It's coming on here, more difficult to read, but a big magnify here to see what happened every 5 minutes, and this line is crossing. So we got probably support right at this point, which should be right about 42.75. Is it get there, it might come back and visit the previous one, but it's just to generally show you an idea of how you should read the chart. And notice the volume. The volume is very low. It's below average. It's Friday. This going downhill. We don't going nowhere with this stock. So if you have to get, if you had got in here at 1 o'clock, you probably would have made $1. You bought the stock. You bought options. You needed about 10 contracts to make 500. If you bought only one contract, then you will have made probably about 50 cents a share, right? So it would be about $50 in an option if it was in the money at that time. But notice how this happens. So always read this distance. The wider this get, the more upswing on the price. The closer it get, the more difficult it is to tell which way we're going. And it's obvious that this is hanging in here every 5 minutes. We're going to give it about another 5 more minutes and then stop the training, since it's just kind of common sense that this trade is operated. So if having problem going through your the price from yesterday, that the opening line for yesterday, like a $43 previous close. It closed at that point right here. So we started this morning at 9 o'clock, 9:30 New York time. It went down, it came back up, went down, came back up, and now we're dealing with the 1 o'clock, the 1 to 2. So this amplified here, the amplifier for the last hour that we're going. So we will moving here to the next hour. So it will keep the 60 minutes in here of the trade. But we know they have made 1, made 2, we have made 3 or 10, and we're getting about an hour and a half before the market close. And I don't think it's going to make any better, or unless we get a rush of people buying of the last, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. So in making an attempt, notice that it went this far, and then when the green one only covered that, the second one is covering this one too again, 50% of it, so it's over 50. The previous one up, it only covered less than 50% of the downside. And you have this little spinning top in here indicating they're going to get lower, and that's exactly what it did. And there's a spinning top over here indicating they're going to go higher. So the longer the leg of the spinning top or the wick, the more is the dramatic of the move. And it needed confirmation. So this is a confirmation. Tried to go down, but it went below that, and then it started moving up. And here we are now on this move. So it's just to learn how this works out, to learn how to read this, and when you should get out. It's just touching the line there, It's not crossed yet. You should get out when it crosses, but think about this, that we had gone from 43 to 42, so there's $1 lost in there. So I normally, what I do when this start going down, that this act much quicker than the other two lines, and this blue bar start going down, and say, it's time to get out of Dodge City and don't get caught in the crossfire. And sure enough, so now we will, if you had stayed, now you'll be struggling where should stay or get out based on that. So that's about it. It's just 10 minutes short run about day trading and what you should look forward when you day trade, because it's very difficult to day trade. Prices change very quickly. And right now we're just monitoring by 5 minutes. So with that, you have a good day, have a good weekend, and hopefully they will show you, give you a general idea of how to trade if you are a day trader. And remember, when you sit down and do this, you cannot go and down the street and take lunch or anything like that, because you come back, you might have a surprise. Sure enough, we're coming now with a little red bar. We're gonna hang up a few minutes in here to see what happened. 5 more minutes, and I don't want to go this much time into the video. So what we're gonna do is probably pause for a while the video right quick, and that way we can wait. Okay, we're back again. Here we go. Started moving up. I'm gonna make another attempt to make the previous close from yesterday. He has failed 3 times, as we know already. He made one here. We go today deal. We see the cross moving in here. It came down. So we're getting lower lows and higher highs over here, but we're still not crossing. So this is that 3 bars in a row, making an attempt to reach there, but having difficulties. Normally, me as a trader, once I see this start turning over here, I get out, because this blue line run a little bit more ahead. So this bar cannot tell you this is no good. And the longer you stay, so notice that, but by the time right here, they got a smaller, right? They finally cross. You could have to stay here because this line had no get close to the red line. Neither of the two have, but now both of them, this is a confirmation that this is don't have a good idea. So one complement each other. I did a trade yesterday with this one. It was not going the same direction, but I got in anyway. So I paid the price of losing $50 on the trade and got out. But days like that, we get involved on this part here. We don't pay attention on the other one. And I should have paid attention when this bar was going smaller and smaller and smaller. And now we're really a tiny little bit below 0. So I don't think this bar going to make it. And with that, let's have a good day and good weekend. And I just thought I'd share that with you. I said, if you are doing day trading, to be aware of these things and the volume and the indicators. And don't believe that you're going to go back up, that you're going to just stay there too long. If it turns on you, you cannot be emotional about it. Follow the indicators. These are formulas that have been tested for many years with over 50-year record tracking different prices, and they got a good response to it. There are many indicators, but not all of them behave just the same. So this is the one I use, and I'm very pleased with it. I have made money with it. You can do the same. We're coming with a video for the school seminar at the library seminar part 2, lesson 1. And we got some good material in there for you to understand, and behavioral and a lot of psychology also. So have a good day and a nice weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.